Hey guys, welcome to my very first interview, podcast, video cast. I'm not sure what it is, but I'm very excited to be doing this. We're obviously in the Corona times, and I've decided to film a little bit of our lives, but ultimately turn this into a podcast that I can maintain and keep going. So this first one I'm very excited with. This is actually my wife, Lindsay Lou. We're going to be talking about our veganism or my veganism, our kids, her hair salon, her interior design, and really you'll kind of see interaction between us both. It's not easy for me to watch these without cringing a little bit because you're having a conversation with your wife and it should be more relaxed and easy, but then I have my business side on. So, I'm asking these pretty direct questions and I'm trying to be as candid as I can, knowing that this will go out for there. So, as we kind of go through, this is episode 1. I'm going to build it up and I'm very excited to be doing this. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Without further delay, enjoy.
People. So I think it's been definitely an adjustment for our family. And like you said, we were supposed to go to Palm Springs, which when this all started coming about, we weren't really sure if that was still going to happen. We decided to keep the vacation until things started to progress a little bit. I had called and kept in contact with the hotel. And when I had called at the time, nothing had been in place in California to where they were obligated to give you a refund on your hotel. So when we booked,
they weren't even going to do anything.
We booked through a third party, Expedia, and we prepaid in full for this hotel. And, one of the terms and conditions were it's non-refundable, which for us is typically no problem. We never really have any issues. We're always going to plan on being there, whether we fly, drive, whatever. So this was kind of a weird situation where I was like, well, shoot, we already prepaid. How are we going to get our money back? They're saying, we have to pay at least one night. And this was obviously prior to California's governor putting things into effect where then it became mandatory that hotels were giving refunds. People were getting refunds on their trips when Disneyland closed.
When Disneyland closed, that was kind of like it.
That closing. So that too, they obviously closed, so we got a refund. But and we'll do it again. We'll plan our trip and go. Who knows when at this point, but well done. We're gonna want to go out and do something and get away for a little bit. But for Disneyland to close, that was crazy. That's obviously one of our favorite places to go. We have season passes. The kids love it there. And that was actually going to be maybe a pit stop on the way back because we were going to drive to Palm Springs. So, even though we're in quarantine or isolation or self-isolation, whatever you want to call it, it's not really relaxed. There's a lot of things to keep us busy. Obviously having 4 kids and a dog. There's plenty of things to keep me busy. I haven't been able to focus on work like I wanted to, even though I'm not behind the chair. I still had some goals and some things that I wanted to focus on for my business that I haven't been able to do. But
so let's pause there. What do you do? We know each other. People know you. You left. Where'd you go? Oh, there you are. People know that we're together, but let's tell people because people still ask me hey, what's Lindsay up to? Does Lindsay still own the salon? So let's use this opportunity just to kind of tell people who you are and what do you do? What's going on now?
So, I don't know if a lot of people know that back in October we closed Salon Luxe, which I owned with Carissa, my best friend, for 5 years.
Who's also our neighbor.
which has actually been really cool. I know where they've been, so we've been able to like still lightly hang out with them. I would say we're still pretty distant from each other. But if we want to pop our head over the fence every once in a while in the backyard, we do that. Or the kids go out and play in the front, not too close.
Under 10 people.
Did it pause? Sorry, I got a phone call.
Yeah.
So we closed the business back in October. It was too overwhelming having the baby, and trying to focus on the business and maintain a family life and a personal business and possibly do a little bit of interior design. So I have all these things in my head that I enjoy doing and that I like to do. And it's hard for me to focus on one full thing and commit to one full thing, although hair will always be my number one, my passion. Like, I'm fully committed to hair. So interior design is just like a hobby for me, and I just like to do it for myself, basically.
So, I mean, as far as hair goes, are we just working on, like, what's your focus? Is it just women? What are, like, I don't know anything about hair per se. I just get my hair cut and that's it. But I mean, do you have a clientele that follows you that's based on what you do? Or is it like, if anybody has hair, you can just kill it?
So I do a lot of natural hair. So I don't do crazy colors. I don't do a lot of men's cutting. I don't do children, but I would say, a lot of people compliment me on my hair, and that's like the kind of work that I do is like a more natural balayage is what has come in the last few years.
Right.
So that's the terminology for it.
Do you do your own hair though? So if somebody compliments you and says, "Hey, I like your hair," do you go, "Hey, no, this person did it," or do you say, "I did my own hair"? What do you say?
I give credit where it's due. So, if somebody has colored my hair, I will give the credit, but I say I can also do the same thing. Obviously, most hairstylists don't do their own hair. Now, for me, it's a little bit different. Although I do have extensions, I get those done, which I'm very thankful. Like, the girls at the salon take care of me, and I promote, extensions for them. But I do color my own hair in the bathroom at home. It's kind of how it's had to go with having 4 kids and having the baby. I don't really have the extra time, nor do I want to commit to sitting in the salon chair.
Right. So do you get your hair color from like the store? Like, can you go to, if I got a thing at Safeway, can you do your hair the same way?
Absolutely not. So I use professional color, obviously the color that I use at the salon. I highly don't recommend coloring your own hair at home unless you're a licensed professional and have training.
Right. And we're seeing that. We're seeing
not just
people post things right now
on my hair. It's not that simple.
Right. I mean, yeah.
There's actually like a lot of math and science involved. I think a lot of people don't realize like the balance of colors and the numbers and the neutrals and the greens and the blues and all the different tones that there are when you're mixing color. And that's why we're licensed, and that's why we went to school, is because that's what we were taught, just like with any profession.
Right. Well, theoretically, I mean, we hope that people go see a professional, but it's always money, right? Sometimes people can't afford it. Also, right now, they're I see girls on Facebook offering some sort of service where they'll walk you through something. So, like, please don't go buy box hair color.
I thought about offering that. I'm still a little bit hesitant. The more I see it, the more I want to do it, but at the same time,
I don't know if you can though.
I want to have clients when I come back to the salon. I don't want to sit here and FaceTime people for $50 or $65 when I can charge twice that much when I get back into the salon. And I get it. Like, people think that we're a necessity, which, I mean, maybe we are a necessity to most people.
You're not a necessity.
Not a necessity.
No, hair is not, like, if we lost all our hair, we're not going to die. It's
No,
same with photography. It's like,
It's a
people
luxury.
don't need us. Yeah, but it's a luxury. So that's why we're closed.
People
Like the
don't
first
want other people to know they have gray hair, like, or whatever. If you're a bright
yeah,
blonde,
but
you don't want to know, you know, I'm
but are
actually
you gonna die if they have gray hair? So I mean, that's the thing. That's a whole necessity. That's why salons are closed right now. I mean, I get it. Yeah, vanity is one of those things.
mm-hmm.
But you know, for me to say if photography were to leave forever, the human race would die. I mean, the art side might, people might get crazy, but we're still going to go on. That's like if we stop making food. Hold on. Side note, guys. If you're watching this live video, thank you so much. You guys are more than welcome to comment. I'm watching the comments here, so if you have a question for Lindsay, please just ask it, and I'll try to find a way to get it in there. But that's the whole point of us going live right now, so that you guys can ask questions instead of the fact. So we're talking about my wife here, who's doing hair, who's stuck at home. And you know, we're managing our kids right now. We're staying home. We just did a $500 Costco trip. Well, Lindsay did because you can only go one person. So we did a $500 Costco trip the other day. Hopefully, it lasts us. One thing that I haven't really talked about is I went vegan about a week ago. And before that, I really just didn't eat red meat. I was just eating fish, chicken, and I did it because of a medical issue, high cholesterol, high blood pressure. Actually, blood pressure was fine, just high cholesterol, nothing crazy, but something that I could work on with diet. And we're actually managing that as well with this downtime. Babe, I know that you're not, I didn't ask anybody else to go vegan in the house. Like, that wasn't my thing. It was going to be my thing, make my own food, make my own dinner, or just pull out meat. Like, if we're making a chicken salad, just don't have chicken. What do you think? Are you doing this, or are you hating it, or what? What's going on?
I don't know. I'm not really sure what I think about it yet. I like it. I think I'll see a difference in the way I'm feeling. And watching some of the documentaries that we did watch, and I know that you're not supposed to believe everything you see on documentaries. Like, there's content that they're not allowed to put in there. So people say read books, don't just watch the documentary, because maybe there's false information. Maybe they're just telling you what you want to hear.
Well, you can there can be a whole other documentary about how plants are horrible, because we've been watching about how meat is horrible. So somebody's going to make a documentary saying plants are horrible, and all of a sudden you're like, holy crap, I'm never going to eat a plant again. So yeah, I totally get that.
But I think it definitely opens your eyes to what's out there, what's in your food, how it's processed, how they're growing these things that we're putting into our bodies. I thought it was really interesting. It wasn't really something that I ever thought I would do.
Right.
And like a potato and steak lover. If I had one last meal before I died, I've always said it would be steak, potatoes, and salad.
But what is it about steak and potatoes? Like, what is it about meat? And so you can, I mean, as a vegan vegetarian, you can still have the potatoes, right? So that's not going anywhere. What is it about steak?
I don't know.
You're like, I need to have it.
Like, the flavor is just so good.
But what if you got that flavor?
But now, after watching some of these videos, I look at it and I honestly want to barf. Like, and I don't know if it's because it's fresh in my mind. And then I'm like, how could I have put this in my body for all these years? Like, it's just crazy.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I'm the same way. You grow up eating meat. Both my parents have passed away due to heart issues. So my dad, I know specifically, would just eat meat. Like, he would eat steaks all the time. He would be in a casino, typical Asian gambler, and then stop gambling, and then smoker and all that. So, you know, I don't even see people smoke anymore. I think with all the bans and everything inside, I don't smoke. So I feel like I'm already healthier than that. But that's the thing right now. It's like, I don't know why I'm eating meat. And I know that diet is the number one thing as far as food goes, as far as how how your body reacts to things. You can work out all day long, but if you're eating cookies all day, nothing's going to happen. Right. Thank you guys for the comments. Alexandra, thank you. Thanks, buddy. David, good to see you, buddy. So, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, you don't have to keep doing this. This is my thing. So, you know, we have meat, we have steak still that I expect you guys to eat because we're not wasting money. I'm just not going to touch it. And
I know you're not forcing us to do it. And
right. But you get mad when I don't.
We're really open to kids. We had the kids watch the documentary us. And, we said, if you guys want to try it with us. I want to try it.
Right.
I want to try it. And if it's not for me, then it's not for me. And I think everything in moderation. My mom's always told me everything in moderation. Like, if I want to go have a slice of pizza, it's not going to hurt me. If I want to go have a steak occasionally, it's not going to hurt me. It's not the end all be all.
Right. But you are eating
I think everything in moderation, like with any food you're eating, is key. Obviously I did shopping before this whole quarantine thing, and I stocked up on meat, and I stocked up on like some frozen foods and fresh foods. And this was obviously before you decided you were going vegan. So in the middle of all this, you're like, I'm going vegan. And I'm like, great, I have all this food that is now going to be wasted, or the girls and I are just going to eat it and you're going to figure it out. But I also didn't want it to result in more trips to the grocery store, because they are saying limit your time in the grocery store, limit your trips to the grocery store, only go if absolutely necessary. And so I think that's kind of hard to just switch over and be completely vegan in the middle of like.
Right. And like I said, like I did this on my own. I didn't expect anybody to do it. I don't think like I switched fully. I just wasn't eating red meat. I didn't even want to cook chicken anymore. And watching a couple documentaries, the game, what is it? Game Changer is what we watched.
Yeah.
That was called Game Changer. And then right now we're watching What the Health. And really it's not like an anti-meat campaign. It's more of like how veggies can help you more. It's pretty cool. But it's cool. Again, documentaries are, you take what you take with them. They're great. We have always known that veggies are better for you, but the last 10, 15, 20 years of my life, I feel like I've been overweight. I feel like I've worked out. I feel like I've eaten healthy, but my body's never changed the way that I need to change. And so I believe it's diet. So we're going to see if that works. But also when I do my blood draw again, when I go back, I'm just not going to tell her what I've done and see if that's changed anything. And if that is, that's good evidence for me. And, for me, it's more of, do I want to eat steak for the rest of my life and die early? Or do I want to kill steak, not eat it, and live longer? And that's ultimately where I'm at right now. So, we're not vegans here. I mean, I don't consider myself a vegan yet. I'm a week in, so we'll see what happens. I've eaten vegetables my entire life though, people. So that's where I'm at. So babe, you talked about you're doing.
Oh, and on another note.
Oh God.
Dude, just while we're talking about food, we started doing celery juicing, which we haven't like fully committed to doing celery juice.
Because it takes forever to do.
It doesn't take forever.
And you have to clean that shit. It's so stupid.
And I do the cleanup, so I don't think it has anything to do with you.
Well, I don't clean it. You clean it and you do all the stuff. Like, I don't even make it.
If you guys know about the celery juicing thing, it actually does have a lot of benefits. And I noticed that when I do drink the celery juice, I have a lot more energy. I just feel overall better. And my sister actually said, I don't think I drink my coffee as much as I was when I have my celery juice, which I will say the handful of times that I've done it, I forget to make my coffee because I have more energy. So I don't feel like I have to have it.
Well, I do think that's with all veggie juices as well. I don't think it's just celery juice. So if you made like carrots and kale and all that, I think you get that same vibe, because anytime I drink that, when I used to juice back in the day, I would get like over anxious, or I would get too much energy from that. But also, like I've been doing apple cider vinegar for 8 months now, every day. And I have a bunch of like these YouTube videos that people are following and watching, and I think that's great as well. So, I think there's benefits to it. I don't think there's not, but like, doing that and maintaining it every day, for us, especially because we don't do it enough. I think if you did it every single day and you had the same amount every day and made that happen, I think you'd get more benefits of it. But that goes back to my vegan talk. It's like, you have to fully commit to something in order to see the change. And I'm doing that, but I don't expect you guys to do that.
So enough about our diet.
Okay. So here's where we're at. I want to talk about your interior design, because I I don't know my career path in 10 years from now. Like, I'm a photographer now, a really good photographer. I kill it every day. But I don't know what I want to do in the future. And somebody asked me, like, what, this is theoretically my second career, because I was a massage therapist and then went and became a photographer.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would want to do after. So I have like all the social media, all the YouTube, all that stuff. I don't want to go to waste. But Rachel, it's not about the pre-wash stuff. It's about making it and then cleaning it. So if somebody could come and clean the juicer, I'll totally do it. I just don't want to clean that stupid juicer. I used to have to juice my dad's carrots when I was a kid and then clean it, and I wouldn't clean it good enough, so I'd get yelled at, and that's where it comes from. So
it's all about how you were raised, right? Everything comes back to haunt you.
Super Asian.
Asian. Yeah.
Okay, so you're doing hair right now. Do you think you're going to do hair for the rest of your life?
I think I'll do hair up until, I don't know, 65, I would say.
60. You think you're going to live to 65?
Yeah. What kind of question is that?
That's
you think I'm not going to live past
that's crazy.
65?
Why did my face stop right there? Okay.
Weird.
I just don't assume, you're going to live life. Let's live life not assuming that we're going to live that long. But 65 is a long time to do one thing.
I mean, it's what I always wanted to do. So.
And you're doing it.
I'm doing it. And I would say it didn't go the way I thought it was going to go, because I had dreams and aspirations. When I was younger, before I even started beauty school, I had this whole plan. I started doing like hair and makeup probably in 7th grade. Like I would do my friend's makeup in my room. My really good friend who I've kind of lost contact with, but we still keep in touch occasionally. She was my first my grandma was my first haircut, but she was my first friend haircut in 7th grade. I chopped her hair off like 5 inches and it came out so good. And I just had all the confidence in the world. And I just kind of knew that's what I wanted to do. And so after, we got uprooted, we moved from Southern California to Reno. Plans kind of changed. I was planning on going to Vidal Sassoon and working for the studios in LA. And
wait, why'd you guys move?
At the time there had been a recession and my stepdad had lost his job. My parents are divorced.
This was like what, 08?
It was in 01 that he lost his job.
Oh, okay. That's right. Oh, it was later.
We moved in 2002. And so I lived basically full time with my mom, my stepdad. And then my sister had just graduated high school. So she got the option on whether or not she wanted to stay and live with my dad and stay in Southern California. She got to stay there.
And why did she stay? Is it because of work?
She stayed. She had a job that she had been at for years that she wanted to stay and build that career. And then also she wanted to pursue acting.
And she was a professional Johnny Rockets dancer.
A Johnny Rockets dancer, yeah. No, she trained at Johnny Rockets. So, I mean, yeah, I guess she was a professional dancer.
Wait, she trained people. She trained people.
Yes.
She didn't train dancing at.
Choreographer
right
for the dances that they did in Johnny Rockets.
And she was in one of the.
So now she's on the video at where was it?
Oh yeah, when I went to WPPI in Vegas over at Luxor. But wasn't she also on Undercover Boss or something, or wasn't she on something?
No, but Johnny Rockets was on Undercover Boss, but she was not on.
No, whatever. I thought she was on.
I don't know. I don't really know. Anyways, so we uprooted, moved to Reno, and things changed for me. I finished high school here. I was going to move back to California after I finished high school. That didn't end up happening. I decided that I would just stay here, go to beauty school because it was a lot cheaper. I wasn't going to do the Vidal Sassoon. And then I would graduate from cosmetology school here and then finish my hours in Southern California and then kind of go that way to save some money. but that was just kind of what I wanted to do, but it didn't end up happening. So, and I would say that you had a lot to do with that plan. Not that I don't regret any decisions that I
I didn't think
made.
you did. Yeah, that'd be a weird thing to start with.
I wouldn't go back and change anything. I'm just saying, like, I met you in beauty school,
Right.
and that changed my path on where I ended up being today. So,
Well, I mean, yes and no, but like, you know, I mean, you could have gone back, but there would have nothing would have really changed for you. I mean, it would have just been going back and then work in school and all that. If it was a huge thing, which we didn't even really talk about then, it was
right.
never like, Jeramie, I want you to move with me back, you know, blah, blah, blah. We never had that conversation, so it was never an option.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I
and we were
mean,
so young too. I don't think we were old enough to really have that serious of a conversation. Back then, I was obviously 18 when I met you. And you were doing massage. You were born and raised in Sparks and wanted to stay here and build your career. And this is kind of where you've wanted to be for your
right. It wasn't I wanted to
life.
stay. There was just nowhere to go. Like there was no,
Right.
I had no, and I still don't. Like there's nowhere for me. Like if we were to uproot right now and be like, where do you want to go? Other than like, let's go live in like, you know, a resort town that we can sit on the beach all day. There's nothing, there's no place that I think we would go that in 3 years from now, we're not going to be like, we should go somewhere else. We should do something else.
Yeah.
And so until that happens, like, you know, even when we retire, I mean, like, where are we going to go? And
Right.
so it's just that I'd rather travel and enjoy places and that stuff. But I don't know. It's a little much. So let's push forward here a little bit. Let's get to, I really want to talk about what you're doing on social media. I want to talk about your interior design because we've talked about this where you spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours on these apps on the phone and you're posting these things, but I want to see you push for that. What are you doing as far as interior design? I mean, our house, I've always joked, and I'm serious, that we get to keep a coffee table for 3 weeks and then it's gone, a rug for 2 weeks and it's gone. And you always ask me, like, babe, do you like this rug? And I'm like, who the frick cares? Because it's not going to be here in 3 weeks and it's not my design anyways. Like, I don't have a say. I don't want to say. Like, you do whatever you want in the house. Where are you taking this interior design? Or are you doing anything with it?
I mean, I don't know. It's a big question mark. I would like to do more with it. Obviously I'm not seasoned in interior design. I have a particular taste. I know what I like. My taste is obviously evolving constantly. I like a lot of different things at the same time. So that's partially why I like to change things constantly because, like with hair color, things are always evolving. I don't know. I guess I would only take clients if they liked what I had to offer and they like my style. So that would be why they would hire me. But
so, I mean, is
yeah,
this
I
a
don't know.
business yet? I mean, like,
I think I could end up doing more with it. And I actually was presented with a really, really, really good opportunity prior to this whole situation with the coronavirus.
it'll still come back. They're on break too. So
right. So I mean, I haven't moved forward with anything right now, but I'm hoping that does move forward because that would be really good and a good push and a good start for that business. And now that I'm not owning the salon, I have the freedom to do that kind of thing and not feel guilty about it.
So, right. I mean, that's where I'm at now with you. It's, you know, you have the opportunity now. Jet's getting older. Jet's our 1-year-old. He'll be 2 in July. And one of Lindsay's big excuses of just slowing down, doing not, you know, whatever, is that Jet's around. So he's in daycare when Lindsay's at work. But my thing that, babe, I want to see from you is I want that push. I want that. If you want to do more hair, if that's your passion, I want you to do more hair. I want you to, you know, do whatever. If you need to go to workshops and do whatever to build up, that's cool. But if you want to pursue interior design, then I want you to do that. I don't need to see it. My thing is I remember when I was doing massage and photography, and we were building our family, and massage was doing okay. I was fine, but I started to hate it, and I started to buy a camera and shoot. But I knew that like if I did both at the same time, we weren't going to make it. Like financially, we weren't going to have any money. So I then one day just quit massage, and I was like, we have to go full on photography and make it happen. And that's when my photography business like picked up.
Right.
So something happened to your phone. So, I mean, what do you think? Like, yes, you have a potential client. You have a potential big client locally that both you and I work with. We're just not allowed to say anything. But as far as like people, like, you know, you're posting all this stuff on Instagram. People are like, where'd you get that ottoman? Where'd you get that? You know, tell me about your pictures on the wall. How'd you do that? Why aren't we pushing that in a side business? Getting, you know, you just got a business license, you got a tax ID or something. Why aren't we pushing that and telling people that, hey, this is what we're doing. I'll come over and I'll do a custom thing for you, because it's always custom, right? There's no, you know, it can be like, hey, I'll help you shop it, but you go buy it, or I'll make a little mood board for you, and it costs you $200 for me to make you this mood board, and then you take it and you do whatever you want with it. Why aren't we doing that?
I think that, okay, so I'm a believer of pushing, especially to the kids. It doesn't matter what other people think, right?
Right.
When it comes to myself, though, I just have this like thing over my head where I'm constantly thinking about what other people are thinking. And so,
well, that's normal. That's everybody, right?
I mean, I need to get past that in order to move forward. Because in the back of my mind, I'm thinking that I'm being questioned on whether I'm still passionate about hair, because I'm pursuing a hobby. And that's really all it is right now, is just a hobby. But it doesn't take away from the fact that I love to do hair. So you
think that if you decided to open up a side business or help people with interior design, then a lot of people would assume that you're not into hair anymore?
Yes.
So here's how I think of it. They're both aesthetic, non-essential businesses, right? Let's be real here. I can paint my house. I don't have to paint my house. I can get furniture. I don't have to get furniture. I can live with cardboard boxes. It doesn't matter. I just want nice things to make it look nice. That's the same with my facial feature, my, you know, like my beard, my hair, my whatever. I technically can do it myself if I had to. We pay professionals to do it because they do it correctly.
Right.
When I think of hairstylists and interior design, it's in the same field to me. I would expect you to do something different. I wouldn't expect you just to do hair, or I expect you to do hair 6 days a week, 5 days a week. Right. So right now you do hair part-time. So we're there Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but you do long days. So it's still kind of like a full-time job, but split into 3 days. You have 4 days in the week. Why wouldn't you take one of those days and push your hobby into doing something? You know, hobbies like basketball, right? So if you know, somebody wants to play basketball, we're not going to say you can't spend one of your day playing basketball because it's taken away from your business.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's a lot easier being said than done. I love the time that I get to spend with Jet when the kids are at school. So like that's our one-on-one time when I'm not at the salon on Tuesdays.
But why can't he go with you? Why can't, like, how cool would that be?
Maybe he could go with me, but I don't know. I don't feel like I used to be such a good multitasker, and after I had him, I feel like I'm a horrible multitasker.
So, did you
don't
know
talk to me if I'm talking, because I have no idea what you're saying over here if I'm listening to somebody else. Like, I suck at it now.
So, I mean, it's actually like a study that proves that nobody in the world can multitask. Your brain doesn't know how to do it. People that think they're good at it actually are not good at it.
Moms are really good at it.
No. There's a whole like study I researched and read that nobody's actually good at multitasking at all. People think they do. And like if I'm doing computer stuff and say I wanted to type an email and then go and all of a sudden pack a bag or something, but I'm like, I'll do that while that's doing it. you actually, every time you switch and do something, you're losing 30 seconds of time. So there's no such thing as multitasking. In fact, I mean, in business or in anything, I don't want somebody multitasking. I want them just to focus with me. It's hard enough for me to even look at the camera, look at you right here, and then look at these. And when I do one or the other, I'm losing something. I'm losing something. So
that makes sense.
I know it does make sense, babe.
You're right.
Look, basically, as I'm doing this, all these people are commenting like, you can still work behind the chair, also gain clients for interior design. People want you to do this, and that's the thing with me. It's like I'm
slowly moving forward, and I'm slowly taking the steps that I need to kind of get everything lined up to eventually pursue that business more. It's just not going to happen overnight. And
right. Okay. So
I need to be comfortable with going out there, charging a rate that I'm comfortable with, and that people will pay.
We don't need 1,000 clients for you. We need 5 or 6 amazing clients that'll pay your worth.
I would love just like a handful of good clients to get me started. Like,
right.
And I would love to offer, discounts for those first handful of people.
Okay, let's not tell people they're going to save money yet. We'll do that on the tail end. Okay, we'll be like, hey, thanks for helping me. I'm going to take care of you, but we're not going to tell everybody publicly because they don't know where they're at. But like, here's the deal. You have a bunch of people here following this. We've had a whole bunch of people come through here. So if anybody is interested, we're starting this. You're going to get a discount. She already said it. So we're going to go from there. But the interior design is where I think you're going to end up going in the future. I think for physical reasons as well, being behind the chair is not beneficial to your body for your entire life.
Right.
But also,
I've been doing hair for 15 years now. It's taken a toll on my body. My neck is constantly hurting. I have the worst varicose veins from standing on my feet all day.
Not bad. I don't know how you say that.
Partially from being pregnant and working behind the chair at the same time. But it does take a toll on your body. And I think that's why a lot of hairstylists will retire earlier than later. And honestly, I'm not going to go to a 60 or 65-year-old to get my hair done. So I don't expect anybody to get their hair done for me when I'm 60 or 65.
So let's not plan on doing it when you're 65. I mean, that's where we're at. Or perms will come back and then they'll be back too.
And I will not do perms. So
how did moving the salon, did that affect you guys? So you and Carissa own the salon together, Salon Lux. Now you guys are at salon. You're at is it Structure Salon or Salon Structure?
No, it's Structure Hair Studio.
Structure Hair Studio. And did that affect your personal business at all? Not owning the salon anymore? Did that make you feel like less or more of a person because you didn't own it anymore?
I mean, I think that there's definitely in the back of your mind, you're like, I'm a failure. I don't own a salon anymore, or a business. But I think it was the best decision moving forward. And I think that Carissa and I made a really good team for the 5 years that we did it together. And we were really lucky and fortunate to come out still best friends. And I think at the end of the day, that's more important than having a business, is having that friendship. And so, now when we talk, it's not business all the time, and we are able to separate business and friendship now. I had a really hard time doing that before. I can't let things go easily, which so that was really hard for me.
Hey babe,
but
real
now
quick,
I get to just go to work, pay for booth rent. What?
Is the volume on your computer?
Yes.
Turn your mute, so hit the mute on the bottom, and I'm getting feedback on that. The X.
Is that better?
Yeah, that way we don't hear you talking twice.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. So anyways, I think now it's a lot better. Like it's manageable. I can just go.
Right. We don't have to worry about what happens in the salon.
I can focus my personal business.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about people not paying their rent or bailing one day or whatever, the drama of people. And me being an outsider, you know, and mentoring photographers is one thing, but seeing small businesses just not understand how to do their business is very frustrating to me. And watching what happens to you guys owning a salon and just how people are, I guess they don't really think about you guys on that aspect because they're kind of worried about themselves, right?
Right.
So it's
Right.
totally different. We're not going to call anybody out. We're not going to say anything like that. But basically, you know, if you're on a month to month with a salon and you decide you want to party for 2 weeks and not make any money and not pay your bills, well, guess who's paying those bills? It's the
Right.
owners of the salon, and ultimately it's our family. And it just got frustrating. So I'm happy that you don't own it anymore. And it frees up a little bit more time, which ultimately is the goal. So that kind of leads into, we have about like 20 minutes left. So that kind of leads into like the kids, right? So we have 4 kids. We have 13, 10, 9, and 1, soon to be 11 from the 10 in 2 days. Ryan's turning 11. How are we doing? What?
So crazy.
Yeah. How are we doing?
How are we doing?
The kids are alive. Yeah, they're alive.
Yeah. It's a lot of work. I would definitely say it's a lot of work.
Yeah, right now
especially
the kids
at the
are
ages that we're at. I
annoying.
think, you know, there's a lot of annoying conversations between the 3 of them, the 3 girls that are had constantly, and being in the house just this much with each other, I think is a little bit frustrating for each one of them in different ways. But at the same time, I think it's good bonding for them. But like Jamie's at an age where she's a teenager and she's going to be 14 this year, and she has her own opinion on everything. She's definitely a people pleaser. And wants to always make people happy and tries to make the best decisions she can. But at the same time, she's also 13 and she's a brat and has an attitude, right, and she's got the eye roll down.
So let's talk about Jeramie, because we'll get into the other kids in a second. But I think a lot of people know that we adopted Jeramie 13 years ago, 12 and a half.
People, but not everybody.
Right. So Jeramie is my niece in reality. So my sister's kid. And we adopted Jeramie due to some circumstances that you can just guess. Lindsay and I weren't married yet at the time. So I adopted, and then Lindsay kind of married into it. But ultimately, we were dating. I think we were engaged. I don't remember if we were engaged or not when I adopted.
We were actually only dating for 6 months when she was born. And I started taking care of her right out of the womb.
Right.
And,
so how is that? How is adopting a kid?
Obviously, it wasn't in my plan, but I would not change that for the world. She's the best thing that's ever happened to us. But I was only 19. And
right.
So that was hard. We didn't have money. We didn't have anything.
Right.
Luckily, we had the help of my parents. Your dad and your stepmom helped out a little bit, but like essentially when we had our apartment, my parents helped us and my grandparents helped us get her a crib and get her diapers and get her all the necessities
right
that we needed. So that we could be a family and so that we could take care of her properly, because she wasn't getting that. Don't make me cry.
What emoji is that? Is that a swimming head?
Super emotional, because it's just like, it's a cool thing that we did.
It is. It is. And we actually kept it a secret for a very long time. We didn't tell Jeramie, I think, until she was like 8. How old is she? 8, 9?
She was 8, and the doctor always said, you need to tell her right away. I asked the doctor, and he was, I think when she was like 5, and he was like, you need to tell her. But at that time I was like, no, I think I'm going to wait a little bit longer until
Right.
she
We
can
weren't
fully
not
understand.
telling her. We were just.
And Jamie's like a super smart kid. So by 8, she fully like could understand the
Why?
circumstances.
Right.
And she has darker skin. She was starting to question why her skin was darker. And Ryan was starting to question why her skin was darker and why they didn't look alike. And those were concerns. We didn't want that to be an issue. And we wanted to be open with her about the situation and let, if she needed to talk to us and if she felt feelings and she would talk to us. And I
Right.
think that we made the right decision in telling her and not keeping that a secret from her, because a lot of people, I think it's smart to wait until they're 18 or 25 and then they have all these, they're adults and they're like, why did you not tell me this? Like, this is my
Right.
life.
Right. I mean, yeah, we never wanted to hide it, but we also didn't know of a right time to tell her. There was no conversation to kind of jump on that until she asked questions. We have no, there's no stipend, there's no anything that shows up when she's like 18 that we get, or anything. So there's no reason to wait any longer, but we just
And
decided
so
to do it.
we legally used a guardianship of her because we were only dating at the time.
Right.
And then when we got married is when we were able to actually, fully adopt her and become her birth parents on documentation together. So the day that I labor with Ryan was the actual day that we were going to adopt her in court in front of the judge and our family. And I ended up going into labor, so they pushed it out to the next week. And so it's kind of cool because we gave birth to Ryan on
and then
April
adopted
5th,
Jamie.
and then exactly a week later, we signed paperwork to become Jamie's birth parents and adopt Jamie.
So we have Jamie, we have Ryan, we have Chloe, and we have Jetson. We have the girls are really close. The girls are close in age. Y'all go to the same school. They're always together. They do fight like sisters, which is kind of normal, what we expect. And I do remember that they would always ask us to have a baby. And we weren't planning on having another baby, like, at all. So when we had Jet, I think from the beginning, they felt like it was their baby. Like it was for them. Like we were giving them a gift. But it's awesome because right now you tell them, like, how are they with Jet? What's going on with him?
They're really good with Jetson. They're amazing. I always say if we didn't have them, I could not get through this like next season of my life without them, because they help me so much. And like right now they're downstairs playing with him, giving him lunch, changing poopy diapers.
For free.
But I did tell them that I would pay them because I think that, yes.
We give them food.
They get a couple dollars. It's not going to be anything stupid. Because we appreciate it, and they're not obligated to do it to an extent. And I remember my brother was born when I was 13 or 14, so it's kind of the same thing. And, my parents made sure that we, or actually more my sister was the one that babysat him most of the time. And that was like the expectation, like, you're going to watch him for us.
Right.
So it's nice having that age gap. It's going to be weird when Jamie is like out of high school and Jetson's only going to be like 6. That's going to be interesting. It'll definitely change as the kids get older, and he'll end up becoming like this only child. But yeah, they're really good with him.
Cool. I mean, they help out a ton. It's really, it's nice to be in the situation. I've always joked with my friends that, we had kids really early so that later in life we can just chill and not,
Right.
And the original plan would be like, right now the girls doing whatever they want. We can go and do whatever we want, and they can watch themselves and hang out, and life kind of changed.
much to the point where we were able to like start doing more date nights, and the kids could stay home for a few hours by themselves.
Right.
Or if we had a babysitter come over, it was like they pretty much do their own thing. The babysitter's just there to make sure they don't die.
Right.
So our life took a 360, pretty quickly, but yeah, it's been an adjustment. We obviously don't get date nights very often, if ever.
Nobody needs date nights.
They do. And then it's like being in quarantine, like you're still working and I'm taking care of the kids. Not much has changed, although we do have you here and not, out shooting all the time. And
right.
And I that aspect of things, that we're together in the same house as a family.
So guys, if you don't know, my office here is in our third car garage. So I'm actually in the garage right now. Lindsay's upstairs. But we converted the third car garage into an office that if we ever sold the house, we have to tear down, which is kind of sad. But I do all my live streaming YouTube videos and all that stuff here. So it creates an extra room for us as well, that I feel like I can actually leave the house and without leaving the house. But I'm not in the house. I can't hear anybody in there. And the only thing really I need is some sort of note or something to be like, hey, pretend I'm not here right now, because nobody can talk to me. So babe, we're coming up here. We have about 5 minutes left. It's really important to me that people know where to find you, what you do, what's going on. Obviously right now we're on quarantine. I know that you have had to reschedule your entire month of April, as have I. And I know that you're pulling clients still. You have room for more clientele. So let's tell the people, like, give yourself a plug, some where you're at, what you're doing, what's going on.
So I'm kind of just waiting at this point. I'm not rescheduling clients right now.
You have a list?
Kind of off in case this all gets extended. But when I do start booking my clients again, I do have a priority list. So my current clients are paying $25 to hold their spot. And they'll be the first ones to get notified to get right back on my books when that time comes.
And a lot of your clients didn't care about that, right? They were like, no, we're fine.
A lot of my clients all my clients actually have been so understanding. They've offered to pay for their appointments in full prior to their actual appointment, which is so sweet. I don't want to do that though, because I want it to feel like I'm still making money when I go back to work. So I'm doing a 50% deposit. If they want to pay in full, I'll do 50%, which still really helps us. And then, but if anything, they can just hold their appointment for $25 and get a complimentary deep condition treatment at their next appointment.
Ooh.
And then, and for new clients too. So that little bit just helps. And then I'm taking new clients, obviously. I'm expecting to be pretty busy when we go back, and I'm at Structure Hair Studio, like we said earlier. And then
Facebook,
also,
Instagram, where can they find you?
Structure has a Facebook page. They have an Instagram, but you can find my personal stylist page. It's Lindsay M. Lou Stylist on Instagram, and then just Lindsay M. Lou for my personal Instagram. So I have 2 different pages, one for hair, one for personal interior stuff, just whatever, everyday life. And then I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
I think, no, I mean, you pretty much covered it.
I would suggest don't color your roots at home, please, if you don't have to. And if you do have to, contact me so that I can get you professional color and not store-bought box dye. Because
are you able to still get color?
Yes.
Are they open?
They're not open, but I have a source that I'm using.
Oh.
So it's an online thing. It's a professional, like,
right, warehouse or something.
A professional line, and it's shipped directly to your house. So it's a source if need be, but if you can just use a root spray in the meantime to get you through, we are selling that. And we're still selling products at 20% off. So we
Do
do
you guys
have
have
that.
is there like a list of products somewhere that or where do they go? To Structure?
They can go into Structure's Instagram page and Facebook to see the promotions that we're running. And I've been reposting those so they can also see them from my Instagram page. But if you do box dye on your hair, it instantly becomes a color correction. So unless you're willing to spend $300 or $400 or $500 to get that fixed,
Right.
I highly suggest not doing that.
The cheap becomes expensive, an old Asian proverb.
Yes. And you know, we're all in the same boat, you guys. We're all like, I have no eyelashes on. I've been doing my own nails.
You have eyelashes though, babe.
I do have eyelashes.
Yeah, you
but
have eyelashes, you have eyebrows, you have hair.
Beautiful lashes.
Right. And look, you're not dead. You have none of that doing right now. And look, you're fine. You don't have to get your eyelashes done every week. You don't have to get your nails done every week.
Normal. Yeah, I'm going back to normal.
And you're alive. Interesting.
But we're all in the same boat, was my point. We're, you know, we all are missing our appointments. We're all like, you know, going to be looking like dead zombies here soon. But it's going to be okay. And
redundant.
Things turn around. What?
That's redundant. Dead zombies. Zombies are already dead.
Oh, whatever. I don't know. Things are going to turn around and we'll get back to normal and everything will be fine. So
good. Babe, well, thank you for doing this. We're at the hour mark here. So I think we're going to end it. Yeah. So guys, you can definitely follow all of our social media. You can follow everything that we're doing, and we'll keep you guys updated. I'm trying to keep everybody updated on the SBA loans, unemployment, photography. We're selling gift certificates. We're doing whatever we can. We know that a lot of the people following this, watching us, following us, are self-employed as well. So as much guidance as we possibly can. But know that with anything, our social media is our family, our personal lives. We really don't filter much, although we do only post the good things. But we're just like everybody else. We're just like you guys. But this is a little insight into this. We obviously don't usually talk this professionally to each other. And
but actually the most we talk to each other is when we're on video. We don't actually talk to each other in the house.
Well, this is the only time we've ever done video.
I'm just kidding.
So this is the only time we've ever talked to each other.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Go follow me on my Instagram. Help me build
guys. Thank you guys so much. And you'll be able to follow this on my podcast, which will come out, which I don't have a name for yet. And then you guys will also be able to follow us on YouTube as well on my YouTube channel. So thank you guys so much. Bye.